Did you know a single feather altered the course of a nation? Grab a seat, because this mind-blowing piece of history will change how you see the world. In 1795, a small, seemingly insignificant feather wrote a history-altering story that spanned continents. But before we dive into the heart of this tale, let's paint a picture of the time. Europe is on edge. The Napoleonic Wars rage on, fueling chaos and tension. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, lush forests of South America, we find our hero, the resplendent Quetzal. This bird, with its vibrant green and red feathers, is not just an awe-inspiring sight, but also one of history's most surprising catalysts. Why? Well, you'll find out. The feathers of the Quetzal were regarded as more precious than gold by indigenous civilizations, particularly the Mayans and Aztecs. Quetzals symbolized freedom, beauty, and divine power. In ancient lore, it was said that the bird could not live if caged. It would die of heartbreak rather than captivity. Imagine how such a creature became entangled in human history. Enter European explorers, specifically Spanish colonizers, captivated by these radiant feathers. They traded them at incredibly high stakes for spices, precious stones, and even political alliances. They were used in headdresses, royal garments, and religious ceremonies. That's where the drama starts. A small plume from the Quetzal found its way to Europe and into the hands of one man, Eugène de Beauharnais, Napoleon's stepson. Napoleon sought to unite European nations under his rule. However, many monarchs viewed him as an overreaching tyrant. The gifted feather, presented as a diplomatic token from Latin America, became an emblem of freedom and unity. Napoleon decided to incorporate the Quetzal feather in the crown for his coronation, convinced it reflected his divine mission. The intrigue grows. At his coronation in 1804, as Napoleon prepared to crown himself Emperor of France, the feather was carefully woven into his robe, its bright colors proclaiming power and charisma. Everyone believed it brought him luck. The French saw it as a link between global dominance and divine grace. But what Napoleon didn't anticipate was this. Members of his court began whispering of the Quetzal's ties to freedom. Those who support liberty used the feather's symbolism as an emblem for underground movements. Just a feather from a bird that couldn't live in captivity became a rallying cry against oppression. The resplendent Quetzal was the symbol of independent nations breaking free from European control, even foreshadowing uprisings. By 1815, Napoleon had fallen, betrayed by his own overreach, and the Quetzal was adopted as a lasting symbol, especially in the newly independent Central American countries. In fact, Guatemala reveres the Quetzal to this day, featuring it on its flag and currency. So if someone tells you, a feather can't change the course of history, remind them of this story. The Quetzal taught us something profound. Symbols, even small ones, carry the power to shift perspectives and challenge regimes. Next time you spot a bird's feather in your path, take a moment. History has taught us, something so small can start a ripple effect across the world. So what do you think? Is the saying true? The pen, or in this case, the feather, is mightier than the sword.